look at the EPL season that has just ended. We look at the candidates or nominees for the manager of the season, young player of the season, and obviously the big one, the player of the season. Who gets your nod? Who was not supposed to be included, and who has been excluded from this list of nominees? We discuss that and more. Welcome to Chosen Nation Sports. This is your boy Mujera Waiti, just an ordinary guy discussing the beautiful game as we know it. Yeah, we are here now. 38 games down. And we've got a reigning champion becoming a new champion. Or yeah, 3 times they say all good things that I've said before comes into it. So as the season closes down, we look at the season that was. We look at the candidates for nominees or nominees for player of the season, for young player of the season, and as well as the coach of the season. And who, from my perspective, from my opinion as an ordinary guy, was excluded and who was not supposed to be there, and who in the nominees that were laid out deserves to win in those given categories. Obviously, we've seen as well around the world, the leagues also concluded. What an epic end to as well the Bundesliga, BVB losing it on the last day. Bayern Munich winning the 11th of, is it 14th or 11th? Because I just saw Manuel Neuer and Thomas Müller have won 11 consecutive Bundesliga title. What a heartbreak. Football, all of us wanted to see Marco Reus getting that Bundesliga medal. I think from a career that he's had, the loyalty that he's shown to BVB, I think a winning medal would have suited him as possibly he says goodbye to his long life team. So what a heartbreak it was. I saw Jude crying as well, possibly being played the last, not even possibly, we've seen that fees of personal his terms have been agreed with Real Madrid. He's now gonna be playing for Madrid in the Bernabeu next season. So heartbreak for BVB, but obviously congratulations to Bayern Munich on winning and yet another league title that was. So congratulations to all the other winners. PSG as well, reigning champions, getting the title again. Napoli, Serie A champions. Mamelodi Sundowns, PSL champions. Who else did I leave out? Barcelona, La Liga champions. So yeah, congratulations to all the league winners. Congratulations to all who participated in this beautiful game that we all love, and for giving us memories, for giving us goosebumps as well, because we really needed it, especially after the year that we had with the World Cup in the middle of the season. It hasn't happened before, or not in my lifetime I know of. So yeah, the league that was, and the league that's just concluded. So we're gonna be speaking about the EPL, the Premier League. The relegation battle went down to the last day, and unfortunately for Leicester City, Leeds United and Sheffield United, Southampton, as I predicted, went down through the last day. Leicester City looked like they were safe, but it took a moment of brilliance from Decore to secure Everton's stay. 60-year-old stay in the EPL for a moment of brilliance from Decore to keep Everton, the Merseyside derby, this Merseyside side in the EPL for yet another season. So Leicester City, Leeds United and Southampton have been relegated to the Championship. Obviously Man United securing 3rd spot, Newcastle 4th, Liverpool 5th, and Brighton 7th, and Aston Villa rounding off the top 7 and the last European place. So they're going to be playing in the Conference League next season. Brighton, UEFA Europa League, Liverpool Europa League, Man United, Liverpool Champions League with Arsenal and Manchester City. So that was the league. So now let's go to what I was speaking about. Let's go through the nominees that were released by the Premier League. Where should we start? Young player, manager. Okay, let's start with the young player of the season. So the nominees are, let me just zoom in, guys. Rahola, no, my class I wanna be. Okay, let's go. What is this now? The nominees are Sven Botman from Newcastle, Moises Caicedo, Brighton, Ellen Haaland, Manchester City. Oh, Ellen Haaland is a young player. That's interesting. Alexander Isak from Newcastle as well. Alex McAllister, Brighton. Gabriel Martinelli, Arsenal. Martin Odegaard, Arsenal. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal. So you've got the top 5 players. So you've got Manchester City's 1 player, Arsenal got 3 players, Newcastle got 2, and Brighton got 3. So I'll just assess them one by one, and as well hope you also join me and put your comments there on what you think is gonna win it and what you think were the contributes of each and every player in their respective team. So Sven Botman plays for Newcastle as a left back. A breakout season for Newcastle. We've seen them getting from a relegation spot to now fighting for that prestigious Champions League spots, and they've been good. They've been solid at the back. They've had, I think, the best defense in the league, Newcastle. So he has to be there. He had to be there, and obviously together with Alexander Isak, a surprise signing, all we saw from Newcastle. But he's really came into his own. There's an assist that he did. I think is also nominee for the best assist, if it's even there, the nominee. Alexander Isak helping as well Newcastle to his goals. There was this goal that he put as well. They were playing against, was it Chelsea? Not Chelsea. I think they were 5-0 up. Oh, Spurs. They're playing against Spurs. There's a goal, an individual ball, a volley that he put for didn't see anything. So Alexandra also deserves the nominee. Moises Caicedo, together with his midfield partner McAllister. Like, guys, we've all seen how Brighton have been this season. We've seen how Brighton has been competitive this season. And Moises Caicedo, the thing that I love about him is he's versatile. The other week he was playing right back, and he played like he was a natural right-footed player, a right-back player. He plays in the middle of the park as a holding midfielder. And McAllister as well, his goals have been brilliant. Brighton have been brilliant this season as well. Arsenal trio of Martinelli, Odegaard and Saka have carried Arsenal from the word-go until the last few weeks of the season. So they've also been there. Who do I think was left out? How old is Marcus Rashford? I just want to see something, guys. I want to check how old is Rashford. Is he not classified as a young player anymore? I just want to see how old is Rashford. Yeah. Okay. Just want to see how old is Marcus Rashford. Oh. My internet is off. Anyways, so I just wanted to know how old is Marcus Rashford and how old is Saka. So, because if Rashford is classified as a young player, surely, hopefully, he should also be in the running as well, or be at least in the nominees of the employer. Anyways, let's just move out there. So for me, personally, I would give it to Moises Caicedo. I think he's been the breakout player for this season. He's been exceptional for For Brighton, as I said, he's been versatile. He's been playing in the right back position. He's been playing in the holding midfielder. For me, I would give it to him or Martin Odegaard. Those are the two players for me that I would give the Young Player of the Season award to. Obviously, we would see who gets it when you go to the awards. But for me personally, I think Martin Odegaard has been exceptional, has been important for Arsenal to where they are today. His goals, his assists, and he's been a captain for this team, dragging them and taking them where they are today. And Caicedo, as I said, has been exceptional, has been the breakthrough star for me. And this award is for Young Player of the Season. So I would give it to either one of them because of what I am looking at, what they've contributed to the team, the impact that they've had on their respective teams. So obviously the Young Player, I'll give it either one. So let's go to the next one, the Player of the Season. The big one. Player of the Season. So the nominees are Kevin De Bruyne, Manchester United, Manchester City. Erling Haaland, Manchester City. Harry Kane, Tottenham Hotspur. Martin Odegaard, Arsenal. Marcus Rashford, Man United. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal. And Kevin Trippier, Newcastle United. Jesus. I mean, you look at De Bruyne and you look at his assist. I think he's the top assister in the league and has maybe won an award for that. And you look at your Erling Haaland, who's been exceptional with goals. He's got a record 36 goals in this season. And you look at Harry Kane. He scored 30 goals, funny enough, in a Tottenham Hotspur team that has been down and out recently. And you look at Odegaard, as I've said about him, carrying Arsenal. Marcus Rashford, those 30 goals for the season that he's done for the league. I think he's got 13 goals. And you look at Saka and Trippier as well. I've spoken about Newcastle's solid defense. And you look at all those 7 players and you look how they've changed their teams and how they've carried their teams, how they contributed to the success of the team, where the teams are at the current moment. And I've seen on Twitter someone once said, it's funny how Harry Kane's 30 goals have been overlooked by Erling Haaland's 36 goals in a Tottenham Hotspur team that has been out and not been performing. Who, according to you, should get the award or should get the recognition? Controversial as it may seem or as it may sound, and I think he might have a point. Can you take Haaland and put him in the Spurs shirt? Would he still score the amount of goals? Would you take Kane and put him in the City lineup? Would he score 36 goals as Haaland? Obviously, we won't know. We're speaking about hearsays and potential dream things, but I think we should not take for granted the work that Harry Kane has done. That's why he is looking for a move to go at least win something. But 30 goals in a Spurs side that has come. What league position are they in? Let me just check for you guys. 9th, 8th in the league. Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, but for me, the award obviously it'll go to Erling Haaland with his 36 goal record. It'll go for that. It'll go there. But personally, and I know some people might agree with me, some people might not agree with me, but I would give it to Martin Odegaard as well. This award, and I love this guy. And not just that because I love him or I like him, but it's because the contribution that he's done, like the effort, what's the word I'm looking for? He's improved Arsenal and he's improved Arsenal in a huge way. His goals, his assists, he led from the front as a captain in this young Arsenal team. I think he deserves to get the recognition. I think he played his heart out for Arsenal. I think Arsenal are where they are because of him, and not only him as a collective, but he He's one of the standouts for the season. So for me, I would give it to Martin Odegaard, player of the season. I know Erling Haaland came in, broke records and all that, but who has improved his team? Who has made his team better? That is the criteria that I'm looking for when I'm picking my player of the season. Who has made his team better? Who has improved his team? No one thought Arsenal would be where they are. The same. I know people might think they bottled it up, but they didn't bottle it up. Arsenal got how many points? They got 84 points. Imagine 84 points and you still can't win the league. Someone once said that for you to even compete in the league, I've said this as well in a previous video, that you need 90 plus points to compete. And Arsenal got 84. So they didn't bottle it up. They just didn't have squad or experience to push it. They were on top for 290 something days or 240 something days. So for me, Martin Odegaard has been exceptional for Arsenal. And I'm not saying the other players haven't been there, but for me, I would honestly, seriously give it to Odegaard, and the young player give it to Moses Caicedo. I know Erling Haaland has broken records. I know, but okay, let me be controversial. Here's something for me. Here's a scenario. Take Harry Kane and put him in a Manchester City team. How many goals do you think he'll get? How many goals do you think he'll score? And don't take anything away. Erling Haaland is an exceptional player. You need runs. You need to be in the right position to score those goals. But I heard, I think it was Ben Foster, if I'm not mistaken, on a podcast saying most of his goals were it's not Ben Foster, sorry. I'm mistaking him for someone else. Most of his goals were tap-ins. But you need to be in there to make those tap-ins. Look at Chelsea. How many chances Chelsea created, especially against Man United on Thursday. They could have scored 6 goals, but because they didn't have Erling Haaland to do those tap-ins that most people criticize him for or say he got those goals for, they were not there, so they couldn't score those goals. So I'm saying Erling Haaland, he needs to be there to score those tap-ins. It is not, and his teammates play. They know where he's situated. They know he's going to make those runs. They know he's going to be behind the defenders. And for me, he's been an exceptional addition to the Premier League. And his goals, no one can ever take them away from him. But I'm saying he didn't make Manchester City better. He found Manchester City at that level, and he just went in and gave them those goals. Manchester City have won their 3rd league title in a row. So Arsenal have now come second in how many years? You decide. You decide. That's just my honest opinion. You decide. Let's go to the last one. Manager of the season. You've got Mikel Arteta. Before we go there, the player of the season nominees. Man United players. I think Bruno should have been there. Luke Shaw, for me, has been exceptional when being called upon. He played left back, he played left centre back. So, from Man United's point of view, I thought Luke Shaw deserved a shout out. But I'm not the pedalist. I'm not the who decides who should be there. So yeah, let's go to the manager of the season. Mikel Arteta, Arsenal. Roberto De Zerbi, Brighton. Unai Emery, Aston Villa. Pep Guardiola, Manchester City. Eddie Hall, Newcastle United, and Marco Silva, Fulham. Who gets your vote? Yeah. Controversial one. People who follow me will know I am not happy with this category. The other ones I can live with, but you cannot sub my manager. You cannot snap my manager. The exclusion of Erik ten Hag in this nominees, I don't know what criteria they were looking for or the criteria they were looking at, but not including Erik ten Hag in there is just criminal, guys. Like, he's taken the worst ever Man United side to 3rd position. Now he's speaking because the league has ended. But when the nominees came out, he was 4th. Okay, let's just say when they came out, he was 4th. He took the worst Man United side to fourth position. He took the worst Man United side to a League Cup final and won it. He's taken this Man United side to a FA Cup final. What else does he need? Okay, they don't count the cups. Okay, let's take the cups out. Man United are fourth position. Man United had more, even now we can check, have more wins than any other team except for Manchester City and Arsenal. Check. Manchester City have won 28 games. Arsenal have won 26 games. Man United have won 23 games. Those are the top three teams that have won more games. Erik ten Hag has been the man in the helm. He's been dealt with the Ronaldo issue where he publicly said he was not a good manager and he doesn't respect him because he doesn't respect him too. He had to deal with the Mason Greenwood saying he's been found not guilty and there's potential he's gonna come back. Obviously, in the future we don't know what's gonna happen, but in the current season that happened. He's been dealt with a big blow in the January where his competitors were spending money. They only got him two loan deals. And he managed in all those situations to take his team to fourth place. Fourth place. At one time, we were even considered as title contenders. But he was not considered. But anyways, what do we know? Let's look at what they gave us. What do we know? But what about 7 not? I'm a young 7 up cup holders. Anyways, let's see. So, who do you think is gonna take your manager of the season? Personally, again, it's just my own opinion. I know who's gonna win it, but I've got my preference. I know Pep Guardiola is gonna win it because they've won the league, and I think that's how it works. I think that's how your manager of the season gets the trophy because their team won the league. But personally, I would give it to Mikel Arteta. He has improved this Arsenal team. Arsenal are one of the standout improved teams. Obviously, it is Arsenal and Brighton, Newcastle as well from relegation side. Relegated side. But personally, I would give it to Mikel Arteta. Mikel and his team, technical team, coaching team, his players deserve it. The way they kept Manchester City on their toes. I think for me personally, I would give it to him. Not saying Pep is not a good coach or Pep hasn't improved his team, but obviously you saw the last straw. He won 13 games in a row to eventually clinch his third league title in a row. And it's not easy to win league titles. It is not easy to win 3 league titles in a row. And Pep Guardiola has done that. But for me, it was expected for Pep to win the league. Not saying he was gonna win it because it's that easy, but given his team, given his depth, given his players, it was expected. But if having said that, it doesn't mean it's gonna be easy. Look at Liverpool. We all thought Liverpool would be in the mix as well. Actually, they've won the 7 Cup league, 7 League Cup league, Balgala Europe. So I would give it personally to Mikel Arteta, not taking anything away from De Zerbi, the amount of work that he has done, the improvement of his team. I know people would say he took the team from Potter, which was that Potter's team. The difference for me between Potter's team and De Zerbi is De Zerbi's team can score. The a position-based team. You saw Manchester City going to the MX and being overlooked or being overpowered or even having less position than Brighton. So De Zerbi, the amount of work that he's done, the improvement that he's done with that Brighton team has to be applauded as well. Unai, in the 7 months, I think he came, maybe 10% of the season has been played, and he took his Villa team up the ladder and into a European place. He also, the work that he's done has to be recommended. Eddie Howe, I think Eddie Howe, we've said enough about him. He took a relegated, threatened team to Champions League spot in a space of about 12 months. So he has done exceptional work at Newcastle. And Marco Silva, Fulham, from promotion, no one thought they were going to last. they're here now. They're here in the top 10 of the elite. So good work to all the managers. But for me, personally, I would give it to Mikel Arteta. And I don't know. Have you said? Let me know what you think as well. Who do you think will win the manager of the season? Or who is your preference? Because obviously we all know it's gonna be won by Pep Guardiola. But who do you prefer as your manager of the season, as your young player of the season, and obviously the most one as your player of the season? Remember, Arbatle Zaka, the like a fella, and you just subscribe, and you just press it and you get new content. So the league seasons have done and dusted, and as promised, transfer videos are coming up this week. So be in the lookout to see who your team is trying to get or is trying to get rid of. So yeah, remember, until we meet again, prevention is better than cure. Don't risk it unless it's worth it. I'm out.